Number of deadly shootings across the U.S. since just Friday. I want to bring in our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, tonight. And Pierre, there's been a real surge in gun violence across the U.S. I don't need to tell you that. You cover this, but we know the numbers are really staggering. 130 people killed within just 72 hours.
That's right, David. More than 130 people killed and 400 wounded in just the last 72 hours. Violence in this year is continuing to escalate, and children are not being spared. So far this year, 122 children, age 11 and under, fatally shot. A stunning 281 wounded. And David, while we were all fixated on the pandemic, 2020 was a terrible year for gun violence. Nearly 4,000 more people killed than in 2019, not including suicides, David.
This bill of comprehensive police reform just got to be careful here with some gunshots. Excuse us, excuse us. It sounds like gunshots. I'll let you know what this is. These seem to be gunshots.
Get down!
Shit. Shit, where is that?
We're okay, we're okay, we're okay.
We're just gonna go.
All right, guys. So yeah, that was crazy, right? That is crazy. And like I said at the beginning of this video, this is the ultimate irony, because this reporter is talking about police reform. Police reform. Right when these shots rang out, probably about 1 or 2 blocks away, it sounds like. 1 or 2 blocks away. And you talking about police reform. As if that's what we really need right now. Okay? And guys, you know my stance on this. Like I said, I don't mind police reform, but I don't think that it's a top 10 issue in the black community. I don't think it's really that big of an issue in America. This video right here really shows where our priorities are out of line.
Example, Friday night, 10 people were shot in downtown Minneapolis. And with that alarming increase of gun violence, the impact on innocent children has been devastating. 6-year-old Anaya Allen was riding in her mom's car in Minneapolis when they were caught in an exchange of gunfire. She was one of 3 children recently shot there. This past week, 3 children were shot in as many days in the Washington, D.C. metro area. And in Chicago, 108 children have been the victims of shootings this year alone. 16 of them have died. And in the shooting here in Times Square earlier this month, a 4-year-old girl was one of 3 people hit by a stray bullet.
These 40 people were shot, with 8 killed in Chicago this weekend. 15-year-old Dejon Gator was killed Friday on the west side when 2 men reportedly walked up to him and shot him in the head. On Saturday, 1 man was killed and 2 wounded in a drive-by shooting while standing on the sidewalk in Washington Park. 2 people were killed as a result of an argument outside a Northwest Side convenience store. The violence continued overnight, with a woman surviving being shot in the back in River North and a domestic dispute that led to gunplay.
This was a birthday party. A birthday party is supposed to be a joyous event, not a target for those hell-bent on inflicting harm on a community.
New Jersey's governor connected that crime to the wave of gun violence nationwide.
What we saw here in Fairfield is a microcosm of the scale of gun violence we see elsewhere in other communities in our state and across the country.
In North Charleston, South Carolina, a 14-year-old girl was killed and 13 people were wounded when a gunfight broke out at what police say was an illegal concert. No suspects have been apprehended.
I'll say this, individuals were angry at each other, and they didn't care who got hit.
Amazing. And just before coming on the air, Susie, I got a new count. I've been talking to the CHP all day long, and they're now revealing that we have had 11 shootings today. That is 11 in just one day. This is a big jump. As you said, we have not had a jump this large since this crime spree began.
Well, that's a good way to start your morning. Getting shot at on the 91 freeway.
Raw emotion from a Canyon Lake man who just had his front passenger window blown out during his morning commute.
And I was in shock for about 5 minutes, and finally the traffic started moving, and then I said, okay, I got to call 911, report it.
Jimmy Williams was going west on the 91 freeway at Lincoln in Corona.
Looked over, saw my whole window shattered. realized it looked like, to me, it was like a half-inch circumference. It looked like a bullet had hit right there. So my first instinct, I leaned my seat all the way back, got all the way down where I could barely see over the steering wheel, set my coffee cup down, and just tried to drive.
It's been a